and or process?
For the tabulation?
Yep.
Let me send the link.
So what we know that we're good on is we know we have the individual tabulation part figured out quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how to verify the individual tabulation. And then from there, I believe you know how to compile all of the tabulation together. So the first three steps seem pretty good. Okay, so so I would just stick with this right here.
Mm-hmm.
So invoice billing, billing. Do we have the new process on here somewhere?
No.
It's just too much. Yeah, this definitely needs to be organized.
Yeah.
Do we have the new invoicing process on here or what?
Which one? The new global for 138?
No, the process. Do we have a process? Do we have any?
I think down under the.
Okay, I mean, I would say just to kind of simplify things, we need a process doc. We need an invoice process doc. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's make sure this gets created because you understand all the processes need to be organized and the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we don't have a notes right now unless you sent me some notes. I didn't see it, but I can just quickly write it out again. I've gone through this many times before. I'm not sure why it didn't get indexed. I don't know. Did I go over it before? I think I did.
Yeah. And the notes are there.
I mean, the notes are there.
Just under the setup.
Our notes are where? Here?
No, I'm saying the invoice tabulation, the information we went through, we copied and linked on the invoice global doc.
Where?
On the invoice billing doc.
But I don't
under
see
the
any
individual
steps.
work invoice pre-tabulation, new setup.
I don't see any steps though.
Okay.
Anyways, let's just go through it real quick. So we have individual. So steps to new invoice process. Okay, so I'm just doing this from memory. I know I have it written down somewhere, but number one is individual spreadsheet pre-tabulation. Right, so that one's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're on the same page on that. So then you do, and this would be due, I believe, on the first eighth moon, right?
Yeah.
So due date. All right, so then you have overall tabulation spreadsheet. I would just call it the tabulation spreadsheet because I think we can do both things on there. And I believe this is good. I mean, this is basically right here. This is tabulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just copy and paste, and everyone should have the same exact template, right?
Yeah.
So then it should all come out really simple. Then you just organize by client, pop in totals, and you still have new world, old world. You're good to go. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the only thing missing here is the totals by new world and old world. So if you wanted to add those, you could. But again, that's the only thing missing. So are there any questions on the overall tabulation?
No question.
Okay, so then step 3 would be global tabulation based on client income and potential budget. Okay, so I would say here you have your pre-tabulation total, so then let's just go ahead and add a column right here that says the actual budgeted or actual potential income. Okay, so let's do Legion member relations. What's the actual potential income for legal for 138 degree?
169.63.
169.63. Okay, so what would be the, well, let's just call this potential income, and then this would be actual income. How much is the actual income?
Mm-hmm. 2.81. Is it times when we do the calculation with 3.5?
Yes.
Okay, 9.84.
Yes, exactly. So it'd be 9.84. Okay, so then let's do the next one, plasma. What's the potential income for plasma?
169.63.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be the actual client income for this one?
597.87.
I'm not sure where you get that, but it says 597.85.
87.
Okay, well this says 85, so I'm not sure why it's off, but it's only off by 2 cents.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, what is the actual client income? What is the potential income?
169.63.
Okay, and this is the max. This is the maximum potential income. So what's the actual client income?
597.85.
No, Lucy? The maximum potential income is 169.63.
Oh, okay. It will be 169.63.
Yes. So the actual income is the maximum potential income.
Okay.
Okay. So then the next one would be for sponsorship program. What is the sponsorship program maximum potential income?
268.
268. Okay. So then what would be the actual client income?
516, but it will remain 268.
No, let's keep it simple. What would be the actual client income?
268.
268. Yes.
268. Yeah.
And let's even simplify this. Actual income from client. Okay.
Yeah.
Taxes, finances. I'm not sure what this Bitcoin value is. Let's just simplify this to taxes and finances. All right, so what about this one? What's the maximum potential income?
268.
Okay, 268. And then what would be the actual income from the client?
268.
Yes, 268. Okay, so J support and web multimedia.
J support is 150.
150.
9.38.
Oh, for the actual?
Yeah.
Well, here it says 9.37, but yeah, same difference. And then what about multimedia and web?
169.63.
Okay, and actual?
19.71.
All right, I have 6.9. I'm not sure why everything's off by 2 cents, but you got to double check that.
I don't know why, but it's just the formula maybe on the tabulation.
So I get 744.53. So that's what I get, 744.53. What do you think?
It's okay. No, that is the actual income for both teams.
Yes.
Okay.
So to calculate for just one team, you would just, you just subtract Jessica.
Yeah.
And Jessica and Jessica and Zila from this one.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, we can do that. We can do that afterwards. So, but either way, this is the overall client income, and this is the most important component. So, do we have agreement on this? I mean, are we on the same page or what?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that would be the overall global tabulation. And that would be for the overall. And then you would do per team, right? So then you go from the overall, and then you start basically post tabulation. Would be breaking it down per team, and then eventually it's even going to get broken down per individual. But but the most important thing is just getting the overall, and then you want to break it down by team. So that's the overall. So then number 4 would be super team / old new world tabulation. And then number 5 would be full individual post tabulation. So do you want me to do the breakdown by team?
Yeah, that is what I don't understand.
Lucy?
Yes.
Do you know how to do the breakdown by team?
No. Okay, Jay, like old world and new world to add up together, separate from old world from new world.
Yeah.
Oh, that is not true. I'm thinking is separating the totals from old world from new world, just putting it apart.
That's possible, but I think there's two ways to do this. One would be to break it down by team and then break it down into individual, or we could just skip straight to individual and then add up per team. Part of me feels like it might actually be easier to break it down by individual and then do by team afterwards. So why don't we just do by individual, and then I think really we want to focus by individual because we want to be empowering individuals to move around teams, right? So if we do it by individual first, then if people end up moving to different super teams, we're able to transfer their value with them wherever they go. Okay, so if we break it all down by individual first, and then depending where each individual, where they are and where they end up in the team. So let's say Zilu switched to old world, we could easily just boom, boom, switch them to old world, and then it's all done, okay? Whereas if we do it by team first, then it makes it difficult to switch around individuals, okay? So we're just gonna go straight from individual tabulation to overall pre-tabulation. Then we did the global tabulation based on client potential income, or potential income, and then we're gonna do full individual post tabulation, okay?
Yeah.
And then after the full individual post tabulation, then we can add up per super team, and then we're gonna do number 6 would be add up per main buddy team. Okay, and then we're gonna show you how to do, and then the last one would be net revenue, net positive revenue versus net negative loss. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so I want to make sure we're still full individual post tabulation add up per super. Oh, maybe we don't need to do this full individual post tabulation thing. Okay, so either way, I'm going to change this all to, this is all client. So, so process 1 is client income only. Okay? Then process 2 is client work and internal ops work. So I want to make sure these are separate. So let's just stick to just process 1. We're just dealing with client income only, okay?
Yeah.
So maximum potential income, actual income from client, bam. Done. So this is our final number. So this would be the maximum, this is the actual. Okay, so then we're gonna break it down by individual. So ideally I would have the old spreadsheet here. Do we have the old one? Do we have the old one? I think you might have went to here. No, it's the new one. Anyways, there's a couple ways of doing this, but since we don't have, actually I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this spreadsheet so that we are doing, so this is like, this is client income tabulation per individual. So from here, we're going to do total hours, and then here is going to be total. We'll just start with total hours. So total hours here is 0.75.
Yeah.
Oops. Total hours here is 48. Total hours here is 39. Total hours here is 33.75. And then it's just 0.75, 1.5. Okay, so then this would be percentage work. So this would be the total hours worked divided by the total number of hours. So that would be 100%. And then this should add up to 100%. Okay. I don't know why that would be 0. 11.75. What's going on? 11.75 hours. So this is equal to 11.75 hours divided by 39. It's weird. Oh, I messed up. So this is the problem, is that's not actual number. There we go. Okay, and then this should add up to 100%, 92.95%. D12 to D16, 39, are we missing something? 39. Here's the problem. So this is going to be equal to this divided by that. There we go. 100%. Okay? So this one is the total number of hours, 25 divided by total. Oops, I put that. Oh, that's good. And then this. Oh man, why is it doing this? I don't understand. 33. So that's not right. There. Okay. So that looks good. And then obviously these last ones should both be 100%, 0%, 0%. I don't know why it's 0%. 0.75 divided by there. Okay, cool. So then you have everything verified. So you have your total hours, you've got the percentage each one, so that's the percentage work. Then you've got the percentage, the total money, right? Total money. So this is the fairest way to do, and then you have percentage money. So the fairest way to do it is total money, total hours work, total percentage work. So the total money is 170 on this one.
Yeah.
So you'd say the total money is 170. Okay, and so you do that all the way across. Total money, 143. So in the future, you should be able to just do this. It should all just happen automatically. You know, you can just copy and paste everything in. And then this one, the total money is 124. All right, and then up here, it's the same thing. I'm just going to be 100% anyways, but yeah, we might as well do it. So this is 9. Okay, and then the same with these ones down here. Okay. So then the percentage money is going to be equal to the total amount of the money for each person divided by the total amount of money. And that'll give you the percentage money. And then this should add up to 100% as well. So there are other ways of doing this where you actually give incentive to people who are making less money, but I like this way of doing it because it just creates equality between everybody regardless of how much money they make. So I think this is the best way to do it, at least for now. In the future we might change it. But this should be good enough for now, especially as long as like people aren't just like completely abusing the system, it should be fine. So now you have 100%, 100% equals a 50-50 split, right? So then all you have to do to figure out the split, this would be the final percentage, is just going to be equal to the first percentage plus the second percentage divided by 2 should give 100%. So that, let's see if it adds up. Cool, 100%, yeah. So basically, so instead of giving 28% or 29%, you're giving 28.88 instead of 35 or 35.5 or 35.4. You know, 10 versus 12, right? So there's slight differences, 14 versus 10. You're just averaging between the two. So you're averaging between the work hours and the work money. This is especially important if there's a difference is like, you know, like $5 or $10 difference in costs. Okay?
Yeah.
So then you just take the total income, final percentage, and then you have the total income, which is equal to the actual money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just multiply that by the final percentage to get the actual net income per individual. Okay, so then this would be this times that, and then it should work out to the same amount. So then if I sum this up, you get 169.63. Okay?
Yes.
So then you actually have an exact amount of money per person per budget pool under Plasmo of exactly, so you can say Jessica brought in exactly $21.06. The person who brought in the most was Albina under Plasmo. Okay? So then you can have an exact number, and then with that exact number, you can very easily add up per team. So over here you could put the individual, right? And then you can also put the team. Individual team. And I probably would actually even add, a line here for what is it? Client. So we get us to keep it the same as possible. So you have super team worker client hours. No, we don't even need hours. All we need is the total amount. So super team worker client amount. So let's do super team worker and then client and then the amount's already here. So the super team is that one. Worker is correct. Client is that one. Boom, boom. And amount would be this again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new spreadsheet, and this would be post tabulation. So all we need is super team, worker, client, and then final final amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, this would be final income. So this has to do with income. So then after we're done, we just copy and paste it all, and then it'll all be, you know, sortable, and then it's done. Okay, so the only one missing is this one up here, but obviously this one's going to be 100%, right?
Yeah.
Whoops. What happened? There we go, 100%. So are you sort of understanding or not?
Yeah, I'm understanding.
Cool. So the last section here that I did is really just to copy and paste the results in the correct format. So we can just copy and paste it into a new post tabulation and then easily sort it. So I think we're pretty much done here. We just have, I guess there's still these last two. I think it should be the same as above. Let's find out. Nope, that's annoying. So this would be total money is going to be that. And total percentage of money is going to be that divided by 100%. Perfect. All right, and then this would work. No. Total income is going to be the same. All right, cool. So that works. Okay, so does this all look correct and like we're totally done or what?
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. Oh, these are off.
All right.
Why is it off by a whole thing? No wonder those got messed up. Anyways, let's not worry about it. We'll just do it like that. Equal to that. There we go. Okay, so all this is correct, right?
Yeah.
And then we can do one last sum of everything just to double check that it all adds up correctly. So it adds up to 744.53, which is the same as that, but it's based on individuals instead of overall. So then I just go ahead and I copy all of this. Right, so I'm going to copy all of that, and I'm going to go to the post tabulation, and then I just copy as actual amounts, and then I can just organize by team and individual. So we could organize by individual first, and then organize by team, and then you have, you know, by team and individual full tabulation. Okay?
Yeah.
And then what gets really cool is now, if we had done the entire tabulation, we could bring it back into the individuals for post-tabulation, but this is still, actually, let's just call this like client tabulation because we're still doing client income tabulation. So this is the client income per individual. And you can break it up per team. So this would be per team. So old world is 537. New world is 207. And then you can also break it up by individual. So team totals and individual totals. So Jessica would be that. Zulu would be this. Albina would be this. Joseph would be this. Lucy. And Steva. But we don't really need the individual totals at this point because they don't really mean that much, but it's still good to see sort of this is still based on our client income and not our actual work.
Yeah. Are we still doing the same for the internal business operation?
Yep.
So we need separate spreadsheet of the same.
I mean, you could do it all in the same spreadsheet. You could also even add a line here, right? If it didn't, if instead of 3.5x, it said 1.5. Actually, it's not going to be 1.5. It's going to be 1.42. So it'd be if we added another line for 1.42x, then that would be the actual income per person.
Why is it 1.42?
So if you can open up that document that you sent before with the tabulation that you had.
Yeah.
Do you have that one? The old tabulation spreadsheet? So for now, we're doing everything just as the client income, because that's the minimum we need for the budget. Okay, so is this the old one?
Yeah.
So if you come down here, you have new world and old world, and then you have 3.5x. So over here is where you have our actual budgets. So these actually don't change. So this will be the same for the other one. And it's just, you know, it's just all of this, right? So you just multiply like this right here to find out how much admin fees and how much Legion member plasma and how much client work, internal ops work. You would just, you know, take the total, which is 744.53, and then you just multiply it by these categories. Right, so it would just be equal to 744.53 times 13.85%. Right, and then this would be the same thing, right? So we're paying $37.23 of fees, and then that's our client work, and then that is our internal ops work. Okay?
Yeah.
So the totals come out to 3.5x, right? So the total is equal to 3.5x, and then this is 100%. Let's double check. 99.99. 100. All right, I don't know why that's off by like a tiny little bit. But here we can do it exactly. 0.485, 0.175, 1.42, and 1.42. So if we sum this up, we get 3.5x.
3.5.
Yeah. So this is 3.5x. So to have the Legion member services at 4.85x and to have the admin fees at 5%, the total is 3.5x.
Yeah.
So that's where you get the 1.42x.
Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah. So if we go into the individual tabulations, right? So potential income, no, we want this one. So if we go into individuals, so we're supposed to have links to the, where's the actual, is it this one? The verification, okay, here we go, verification. Oh. We need to put this stuff at the top as opposed to the bottom. Get it all organized. I shouldn't have to go through 15 pages of information to get down there. Oh my god. No, it's 28. I shouldn't have to go through 30 pages just to click on a link. It's kind of silly. All right.
Which information are you looking for?
I was just trying to get to the pre-tabulation. So if you go to the pre-tabulation, I clicked on ZLU. This is just nonsense. All right. Did anyone do it in the correct format or no? Anyways, we could just add it right here. So
yes, yeah, the one. I think that is the wrong one linked there.
It's fine. No, this is fine. So this would be 1.42x. So it would be the total hours times the rate times 1.42. All right. So that would be your 1.42x amount. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 1.42x. Well, the 1.42x. Oh wait, actually I did it wrong. So client income pre-tabulation is 3.5x. Client billable work pre-tabulation is 1.42x. Okay? There we go. So now that is correct. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then the same would be over here. Internal ops would be 1.42x. And then 1.42. So all you would have to do to get the total, right, is you just so total 1.42. 1.42. Is you just would take the totals per person and break it down and multiply it, you know, by the difference of the 3.5x and the 1.42x, and that'll give you the final amount, and then you can calculate the net totals for each person. So I don't know if you want to go into that, but I mean, we basically already finished, you know, so this is all pre-tabulation, and then we would do a post-tabulation as well, so that we have the actual amounts per individual. So you did all the internal ops?
Yeah.
These are all correct for internal ops? Great.
Yes, for everyone.
Yeah. So then you would just do the same process you did for the client work, except for internal ops and the client work all together, right? So now you have the total amount of funds available, right? and that would be, so the client income tabulation is right here. So this is per individual, so that's per team. I guess the easiest way to do it is you would just take this total number of 744.53. Nah, let's just break it down by actual income from the client. So I would say the easiest way to do it is like if you take it here and you sort it by client, right? You would end up with the total actual income from the client, and then it would just be 1.42, right? So if we insert to the right, 1.42x would be client work. So that, wait, it would be the percentage. Where is the percentage? Is it here? No, we just had it. Where do we do with it? Here? Here we go. So the percentage for client work is 40.57%. And then internal ops would be the rest. So we know what it is. It's 302.06 and 302.06, right? But we can break it down per client. So if we come over here to the clients, it would be 42.57, right? 42.57%. 40.57%. 40.57%. So it's 1.42x slash 40.57%. Same thing. So for this particular client, which would be Legion Member Services, the total client budget pool is $399. So in that context, instead of the total being $984, you do the same thing except with the total being $399. So the maximum potential income is $399, not $169.63. Okay?
Yeah.
So I can do this again for you. So this would be final client budget pools, or I could just say UMBUS budget pools. So for Legion / member services, we have $3.99. Okay. Then we go to the next one, and the next one is $68.82. $68.82. What was that? Which one's that? So $68.82 is for plasma. Let's add a line in here just to get the total. Oops. So the sponsorship program would be $108.73. Taxes and finances would be $108.73 as well. $387.99. Support web multimedia. So these just need to be reversed, really. I wonder if I can just reverse them really quickly. think that might work. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
I got you guys back. Excellent. Okay, so I was just showing you here how you can get all of the actual client work, right?
Yeah, can you share your screen again, Jay?
Oh yeah. So going in the future, once we get this all set up right, it'll do it all automatically for us once we just copy and paste the individuals. But anyways, for the client actual final unbus pools, no, we can just copy and paste them in here. So this would be the client pool, and this would be the amount of money. And we can put them in alphabetical order. So there you go. So that's your total client work, and that should add up to exactly the same amount, 302.06.
Yeah.
Right? So the total is 302.06. So then for internal ops, if you can link the other spreadsheet with the old one, it should have the internal ops on there.
The pre-tabulation?
Well, here, I think we could just use the, oh no, we don't have, yeah, so just go ahead and link the old tabulation doc.
Where should I link it, Jay?
Wherever's fine. You can just link it the Hangout.
I sent it.
But it should have our, maybe not. Might have to go back to it. Oh, here we go. No.
Yeah.
This is all client. Do we have internal ops here anywhere? Did you see it? Maybe we don't have internal ops.
It's on the pre-tabulation.
Are you sure?
But just for individuals, we don't have for...
No, we just need a list of internal ops.
Oh, no, we don't have it. I'll have to do it again.
Okay, well, we can just guesstimate the internal ops. So we can look it up from before too. Do you guys remember the internal ops would be like worker coordination,
Yes,
payroll,
worker coordination,
budget,
documentation, invoice tabulation.
That would be part of budget. Let's just go ahead and look it up. All right, so go in here, go to the budget. Actually, no, it would be under invoice, right?
Yeah.
And I know right now all these numbers seem really small, especially when you take, 5% of already a small number, and then the 744 becomes, 306, and it's just like ridiculous. But eventually, all these percentages will be of any number. So if we're bringing in, $10,000 a month, the numbers get really big, really fast. All right, so let's go back to the original. Let's go back to like 146 East. Try that one. Because basically, we started by trying to do the internal ops, but then it got too complicated, so we just cut the internal ops and just did client income. But now we basically have client income figured out really, really well. All right, so payroll, documentations, core team budgeting. Client.
That is budget.
Yeah, budget. Client invoicing relations. Ooh, very important. So we have client. Huh. My computer is spinning. Computer is not happy. Opposite of happy. I don't know. Why don't you ask him? I just don't know. All right, so let's try again. It looks like we still have spinning wheel of death. Maybe one of you guys can change it? I need 10 more minutes. You're excited about your shrimp? All right, so can one of you add it in here? So under documentations, we need to add client invoicing and relations, and then internal unbus. Can you do that? Hello? You guys even hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me again?
Yeah, we can.
Okay,
We
good.
can.
Excellent. Okay, so can you add under documentations the client relations and the internal umbus?
Yeah.
All right, maybe I can do it. I think it's working again. So client, oh, there you go. Client relations / invoicing. And the last one was umbus. Umbus work. Okay, so that's the breakdown. Huh. Where is this coming? E-pro rate calculation. Oh my god, so confusing. So I know we have broken down like an actual amount for each one of these. But anyways, we just need to, make a better budget. But if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, you end up with about 16.66%. And then this would be equal, what is it? It's 302.06 or something? What is it?
Yeah, 302.06.
All right. So if it's 302.06, then if you did each one equally, this is how much you would have for your internal ops budgets. Okay. So basically, you end up with instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 client budget pools, you end up with 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So you have 12 budget pools, right? And then you just would break it down. And by the way, all this invoice tabulation that we're doing right now, that's all be umbus work, right? This is all part of the umbrella business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so basically at this point, once you have your calculations made for the actual umbus budget pools, which is very different than the client income. You guys understand the difference between the client income and the umbus budget pools?
Yes.
Yeah? So then the umbus budget pools are based on the actual direct work. So then if you go to your pre-tabulation, we basically could delete both of these. I think it's kind of helpful to have both of them, but you really don't need it. You can just delete both of them. And then you just have your total umbus billable work. So basically, if we wanted to simplify it, we'd have the client income pre-tabulation, right, which would be the first part, just to find out how much income we had. Then we break down to our umbus budget pools, right? Then you would just do, you could just literally cut all this out. You don't technically need any of this. So if you cut all this out, let's just go ahead and hide it. Or no, let's just cross it out. I think that's easier. then all you really need is you have your total unbus billable work, and then here's your unbus billable work right here, right? So here's the total hours, and here's the rate, right? And so then you just take this and you break it down, and so this is pre-tabulation. Then you do exactly the same thing you did with the client income, except instead of client income, it's actual worker. It's actually super team income, right? So this is the money coming into Umbus and coming into the whole global core team, right? And then this is the money being broken down per super team and then going to each individual, right? And so this is 1.42x instead of 3.5x, okay?
Yeah, yes.
And then this adds up to the total amount, and instead of the total potential income being what it was, at this time the total potential income is, let's see what it equals, 604.12.
Yeah.
All right, so then the 604.12 is the actual total potential income for for all of the workers and the super teams. Yeah, and then that'll be what's you. Then you break this down to all of the work, and it should all be pretty quick. I mean, once you do it, you know, it all should be in the same format. So you're just copying and pasting. The format should be exactly the same, and then it should just do all the calculations for you. If you just duplicate this instead of client, you're just gonna have umbus, you know, umbus budget, right?
Yeah.
Umbus budget pool instead of client, right? And then you just list all of the umbus budget pools, including the client work, and then it'll all break down, and then it'll give you they'll do the post tabulation, and then you can break it down per individual, and then we can break it down all the way down to the net, and I can show you how to do the net calculations. But we're really close here, so I would do it all in a separate tabulation spreadsheet. So this would be the client income tabulation spreadsheet, and then you're going to do a separate one, which is going to be umbus budget pool tabulation spreadsheet.
Okay.
Okay, and the second one is just to break it down by individual. But as far as our global budget concerned, we already figured that out, which is 744.53. This doesn't change. Okay?
Yeah.
Although we do still want to break it down by client income. So you have, this is the breakdown right here. So 207 for New World, 537 for Old World. So these are basically, these would be the green light amounts for Old and New World. Although there may be a cut out of this. I don't know. We have to see how we did it in previous times. I can double check one more thing. So when we calculated it before, 295 N31 plus M31. N30. Okay, so yeah, it was the 1.42. Okay. So it says according to here that the Old World and New World budgets are based on, you know, you have to remove the admin fees and Legion and member Plasma services to make sure it all adds up correctly. So so technically it would be this times 1.42 times 2. Let's see what it equals to. No, it would be 40. 0.57 times 2, so it's 8114. So 0.8114. Huh. Not, there it is. Cool. Times 0.8114. Voila. All right, so those are the actual correct.
You did not include on the top one. You removed.
I removed it. Oh no.
Yeah, check the. Yeah, you already removed on that.
Times 0.8114. Oh, perfect. 60411. All right, I gotta get going, but that's pretty much it for the global tabulation.
Why are you making that one?
Why are you making what one?
Or multiply by 0.0.
This is the breakdown for the 40.1 fence, because we still have to pay the admin fees and the Legion member plasma services fees. Right? So this is 13.85%. So we could break it down a little bit better here if we went like this. So this would be the total for the team is that. And then you would have the member Legion plasma. And then you would have the admin fees, 5%. So this is equal to this times 0.05. And then this is equal to this times 0.138. What was it? 1385. All right, so these are the costs of the fees, and then you could just say it's this minus that minus this is your total. Well, that didn't work out right, but that's, so this would be the actual new world budget. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is the subtotal. So this would technically be part of the budget, right? So your budget includes the member Legion fees and the admin fees. Okay? So anyways, we could do the same thing for old world as well. But this would be the budget for workers, right?
Yeah.
So as long as you remember that we as the New World team have to pay the member Legion plasma fees as well as the admin fees, that only the money after the fees goes to the workers. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. I gotta go.
Put the video, please.
Oh yeah,
Link the video.
I won't do it the second, but like tomorrow.
Can you check on the schedule first before you go? If it is okay.
I gotta get going though. My family's waiting for me. I don't see the schedule.
Okay.
Well, just send it to me on Skype. I'll check it and give you feedback. Maybe we could do Sonic or something. All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.